Hello and welcome back. Buying a new electric vehicle. Not such a difficult thing, but there are some things you should keep in mind. Maybe you already have an EV and you agree or you have another opinion. Just let me know. On my opinion, there are some things to keep in mind before you're buying an EV. One of it, of course, the battery size. I usually have my farthest relative here around my area living around about 100 kilometers away. So minimum 100 to my relatives and 100 kilometers going back, so 200 kilometers is the minimum range I need. Plus, of course, some power left, especially in wintertime. When it's colder, you need a lot of more energy, or in the nighttime because of lights and different things. And yeah, one thing is also to keep in mind that the battery can, over the years, lose capacity. You don't need to keep that in mind if you're just going to lease an EV for just 2 or 3 years. Then battery degradation shouldn't be such a topic. And yeah, just keep it in mind and do a test ride, of course, just to check the energy consumption, the real energy consumption, not the WLTP energy consumption, or just like in the USA EPA, which is a bit more pessimistic than WLTP. So in that case, you should also keep an eye on battery cooling. Actually, modern batteries are not so sensitive about battery cooling, but you should just keep in mind if it's liquid cooled or if it's just only air cooled, or if there is no battery cooling. Just for the Nissan Leaf, my old Nissan Leaf, the generation 2 with the 40 kilowatt hour battery, didn't have any battery cooling, but the battery didn't get too hot anyway, just because I'm just usually driving in city and on country roads. And even if we would go on a farther distance, just like the 200 kilometers I told you, yeah, it's nothing to worry about. But if you're going for 700 kilometers road trip on the motorway, then you should keep an eye on the battery cooling. Then it's more important than it is for me. And there's one thing quite important just to keep up the range, especially in winter. That's a heat pump. Every electric car should have a heat pump. Some don't, and it's don't even for option. Don't know why and what that is good for. If you're living in South Africa, Brazil, or any hot country, forget about what I say. Forget about the heat pump. Then air condition is more important for you. And yeah, beside of the heat pump, charging time can be interesting if you want to go on a longer distance. And beside of the charging time, it is about the charging connectors, CHAdeMO or CCE. Here in Europe, CCE is quite popular, but usually the most fast charging chargers have also a CHAdeMO connector. Most of the time they only will give 50 kilowatts per hour, even if some cars with CHAdeMO can take more than 50 kilowatts per hour. But usually they only have maximum 50. So that's one thing to keep in mind too. And last but not least, the position of the charging connector, or better said the socket for the charger, for the charging cable. And we will go outside for that. And in my opinion, some cars have them in the rear, somewhere where usually the fuel tank is, when there are some electric vehicles that also run with a combustion engine, then it's usually in the rear, just like Tesla has them on this place, or they have them quite there at the C-pillar. Usually, yeah, Porsche, Audi, they have it left and right. Some have them in the front. The Jaguar only has it at the left side. Anyway, on my opinion, all the charging connectors, or better said, the sockets, should be somewhere in front of the car. For a very simple reason. Because usually we used to go shopping at the supermarket and charge while shopping. And there is a fast charger and the cable is not long enough to get it in the rear of the car if you're driving forwards to the charging station. So you also, if the socket is in the rear, you have to go backwards, which is a problem because if somebody's parking at your left and somebody else is parking at your right, where to go with your shopping goods? You have to carry them over the car to get to your boot. And that's also a problem if you're, just like once we experienced it in a hotel, we had the possibility to charge. And a hotel garage, it was an underground garage, and also there you don't want to charge or drive your car backwards to the charger and then where to go with your suitcase, because left and right there are usually other people parking. But that's just my opinion. But some facts to think about. If you have a different opinion or different experience, just let me know. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And have a nice day.